How do we build a better society? It's a huge question, right? But what if I told you a huge part of the answer starts small, like really small, right at home with how we raise our kids? Today, we're going to get into the family's absolutely crucial role in shaping the citizens of tomorrow. Okay, let's do this. So let's kick things off with the number. And honestly, it's a bit of a wake-up call, 19%. A recent study found that's the tiny percentage of adolescents who actually take part in any organized civic activities. That means about 4 out of 5 young people are just on the sidelines. Now, that's not just a statistic, right? It's a huge challenge, but it also means there's a massive opportunity for families to step in and really make a difference.
And that really brings us to the big question for today. With civic engagement looking so low, what is the family's role here? I mean, how can parents and guardians actually instill the values that lead to a society that's more engaged and more responsible? Well, it turns out the answers start right at the kitchen table.
You know, the research on this is crystal clear. The family is the very first and the most powerful influence in a child's life. I'm talking long before school, before friends, before the media gets a chance to weigh in. The family unit is laying the entire groundwork for a child's worldview.
Think of it like this. The home is where kids first learn about right and wrong, about kindness, respect, and what it means to be responsible. It's so much more than just providing food and shelter. It's about building the fundamental character that's going to guide them for their entire lives.
So how does this actually happen? Well, there's a key psychological principle at play here called observational learning. Basically, kids are little sponges. They're constantly watching, and they absorb the values, beliefs, and behaviors they see every single day from the most important people in their world, their parents. What they see you do becomes their blueprint for what's normal and what's right.
And this influence, it goes so much deeper than just kids copying what you do. As this quote says, the family literally shapes the emotional architecture for morality. The lessons they learn at home aren't just ideas, they're felt deep down, and they become the very framework for how they understand and interact with the world.
Okay, so if the family is that important, how do you put this all into practice? Let's open up what we're calling the Parent Toolkit. We're going to break down 3 key strategies, all backed up by solid research, that you can start using, well, today.
These are the 3 big pillars. First, you've got to model the behavior you want to see. Second, create a home environment of real emotional warmth and connection. And third, you need to explicitly encourage your child to get involved civically. Let's break each one down.
So step 1 is all about walking the walk. It's just not enough to talk about values. Kids have to see them in action. This could be as simple as talking about what's going on in the world at dinner, or it could be as active as volunteering somewhere, donating to a cause you care about, or even showing them what it means to stand up for something. It's about showing, not just telling.
And look, the connection here is direct, and it is powerful. When kids see their parents actively caring about their community and the people in it, they are way more likely to internalize those values and develop their own sense of civic responsibility. You are their first and most important role model, period.
All right, step 2 might seem a little less direct, but believe me, it is just as crucial. The emotional climate of your home. That's the soil where all these values grow. A home that's full of affection, mutual respect, and open communication. That creates the safety and security kids need to really take these moral lessons to heart. It makes them want to adopt the values of the people they feel so connected to.
So, the bottom line is, this emotional bond isn't just a nice to have. It is a vital part of the whole process. That warmth, that connection, it's like the glue that makes the lesson stick. Research shows a direct link. The stronger that parent-child bond, the more likely the teenager is to care about these bigger issues.
And finally, step 3 is about being direct. You have to actually encourage civic action out loud. This means talking openly about why it's important to contribute to something bigger than yourself, creating space for your kids to think and talk about these things, and then actively supporting them when they want to get involved, whether it's a food drive or a school project.
Okay, so you're doing all the do's. You're modeling great behavior, you've got a warm and loving home, you're encouraging participation, but what if it's still not landing? This is where it gets really interesting, because research has uncovered this fascinating and often totally hidden barrier that can sabotage even the best efforts.
It's a super frustrating position for any parent to be in, right? You feel like you're checking all the boxes, but your kid just doesn't seem to care about civic life. The reason why might really surprise you, because it has less to do with your actions and more to do with something you might not even realize you're communicating.
And here it is. This is the hidden part of the iceberg. It's a total game-changing insight from the research. A parent's private beliefs about youth engagement can actually be more influential than their public actions. What you think, deep down, can matter even more than what you do. It's the unspoken message that can drown out everything else.
And this just illustrates the conflict so perfectly. So a parent might volunteer every week. That's a great action. But if they're privately thinking, oh, youth engagement just creates rebels, or, they're just too young to get involved, that belief gets communicated, often without a single word, and it can completely undermine all that positive modeling.
The takeaway here is pretty stark. These negative beliefs create a powerful barrier, a roadblock. Your kids pick up on the vibe that getting involved is somehow problematic or not for them, and it effectively cancels out the amazing example you're setting with your own actions. Your beliefs and your actions have to be in sync.
So let's pull all of this together. We've looked at the do's and the really critical don'ts. The role of the family is complex, for sure, but its power is undeniable. This isn't just about raising a good kid, it's about consciously building a future citizen. And that, really, is your legacy.
So here are the key things to remember. Your actions are the most powerful lesson you can teach. A loving, supportive home makes those lessons stick. You have to be direct and vocal in your encouragement. And, this is the big one, you have to check your own hidden beliefs to make sure you're not accidentally putting up those barriers.
This quote from the research just wraps it all up beautifully. Raising a good citizen isn't about simple imitation like a copy-paste job. It's a complex recipe that combines 3 key ingredients: what parents do, how they encourage, and the quality of the relationship they have with their child.
And so, we end with this thought. The effort you put in today, the conversations you have, the example you set, the beliefs you challenge in yourself, it's not just about your kid. It's about the very fabric of the society they and all of us are going to inherit. So the question is, what kind of world are you empowering them to build?